Howdy, folks, and welcome to another day in the Milky Way. And tonight we're doing a live. Oh, I hope you guys can hear me. Life is good. We're doing this thing, and we're going to be talking about the book of Enoch again tonight. We're going to pick up where we left off. I know we're never going to probably finish it, but I'm encouraging you all to go out and get your own book. Because that's what we do. We got this book here, the book of Enoch. We're going to read a little bit out of the Nag Hammadi tonight because that's how we do things. And I had a thing here picked out, and I lost it. And now I don't know what I did with it. Origin of the World. Oh, that wasn't really the one I wanted. Yeah, it must be close to that, though. But we are slowly going tonight. But tonight we're going to be talking about the book of Enoch. And I wanted to find the one. There was one on Adam and Eve here. Where could I find it? You know, this book is really thick. But I'm glad you're all joining me tonight. I was over watching A7 on Andromeda 7. They're having a good show tonight over about karma. You should check it out. Your ego, things like that. Karma is such an interesting thing, which makes me think about your own karma. And is this karma thing a revelation of Adam? Adam and Eve created. The revelation of Adam. I'm getting close to it. So you just have to, no, revelation. I don't want to talk about revelation. I want to talk about, there was an Adam and Eve story here. There was Jesus. We're talking about the Nag Hammadi here. I got this Nag Hammadi book out, and I was going to read a passage out of that because my spirit guides told me so. Don't you hate it when the spirit guides tell you something and then you don't want to ignore it, but you just have to get back to it? Revelation of Adam. Why did it come up to that? I opened the book and it came right up to the Adam and Eve story. And I don't know why, but it did. And I think there was something important there. And I'm wondering if it was, whatever it was. It was supposed to be important. No, it wasn't thunder. Thunder? Nope. Maybe it was, nope, not the 12 apostles. Revelation of Adam. Well, maybe we'll do this revelation. Adam and Eve created. You know, the Adam and Eve story was really interesting. But too many people don't talk about it. But tonight we are. Look at, I got my Jesus shirt. Was Jesus an alien? Go figure. Revelation that Adam taught his son Seth on the 700th year. Remember, they lived a long time, 700 years. By that point, you ought to have a lot of wisdom, people. I mean, if you don't have any wisdom by your 700th year, well, you kiss your ass goodbye because you're a dummy. And he said, listen to my words. After God created me out of the earth, along with my mother Eve, I went about with her in a glory, and she had beheld an eternal realm. In the eternal realm we had come from. You gotta remember, these were, anyway, these were the first two people. Okay, she instructed me in the knowledge of the eternal God. So how did Eve know about the knowledge of the eternal God? How? And Adam didn't? Didn't Adam walk with God? See, these stories are so confusing unless you pay attention. Hello, Max Vision, Synchro 9, Delaney Pearl Jones. Thank you for coming tonight. We are in the Nag Hammadi scriptures, the revelation of Adam. We're going to read a little bit out of here, and we already found out that Eve was doing the instruction about God. So how did Eve know? Okay, we reassembled the great eternal angel. Reassembled the great eternal angels, for we were superior to the God who had created us, and the powers with him whom we did not know. God, the ruler of the realms and the powers, angrily divided us. Then we became two beings, and the glory in our hearts departed from your mother, Eve, and me, as did the previous knowledge that breathed in us. The glory fled from us and entered another great generation. It was not from the present eon from which your mother Eve and I derived. That knowledge, rather, knowledge entered the seed of great eternal beings. For this reason, I myself have called you by the name of that human who is the seed of the great generation, or from whom it comes. After those days, the eternal knowledge of the God, he says of the God, not the God, of the God, of truth, left your mother, Eve and me, and from then on, we learned about mortal things like human beings. So that kind of implies that they weren't really mortal, or at least they didn't believe they were. They had a lot of power until it was taken away and given to somebody else when they were divided. So basically, Adam had the power, and then when they divided and gave Eve the power, Adam must have lost it. Then we came to recognize the God who had created us, for his powers were not foreign to us. We served him in fear and subservience, and after that we grew dim in our minds. And again, what did I say before in the book of Enoch? Socialism, communism. You have one ruler, he tells you what to do, you conform, and then you pass it down to your children, and they conform too. And therefore, there's nothing new under the sun. Oh, yeah. Another day in the Milky Way. Adam has his revelation in his sleep. I was asleep in thought of my mind, and I saw in front of me three persons who appeared, whose appearance I could not recognize, since they were not from the powers of the God who had created us, in him and Adam and Eve. So who are these beings? They surpass glory, saying to me, Adam, arise from the sleep of death, and hear about the eternal realm and the seed of the human to whom life has come, who came from your partner Eve and you. So here you got more beings coming to Adam, knowing that he's special, without God knowing. Are they powerful like God? Apparently. When I had heard these words from the great person standing before me, even I sighed in our hearts. The Lord, the God who created us, stood before us and said to us, Adam, why were you both sighing in your hearts? Don't you know that I am the God who created you, and that I breathed into you a spirit of life, so you might be a living soul? Our eyes became dim. Then God, who created us a son from himself, Mother Eve, in the thought, I felt a sweet desire for your mother. The power of our eternal knowledge was gone, and weakness overtook us, and the days of our lives became few. I realized I had come under the authority of death. Now he's telling this to Seth, he's 700 years old. And how does this make sense with Enoch? Because Enoch is kind of dim-witted. He's smart, but he's kind of dim, very naive. So now, my son Seth, I shall reveal to you what those people whom I once saw before me revealed to me. After I have completed the times of the present generation and the years of the generation have come to an end, then Noah will come, a servant of the Lord God who created us. And then it goes in to Noah and the flood and Enoch. You know, so there we go. That was what I needed to talk about. Because, you know, when I was talking about this with the Enoch thing, he talked about Noah and the flood and that God was doing his thing. Hello, Soul Tribe. Love you all. Look at that. Isby's in the house. Big shout out to you, Isby. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate all of you, you know? Anyway, okay. Much love and favor. Hope you get better, Isby. Anyway, here we go. Chapter 20, Enoch. Now remember, the giants were on the earth. As, you know, we read that book about giants. That was me and Isby who read that. And you can check that out. And that was King Og, you know, story. And then he created the flood to get rid of those giants who were created by men, by the watchers who hooked up with women. Now remember, Enoch is on the ship. He is on the ship and he's flying around and they're showing him all kinds of crazy things. And Synchro 9, yes, you are a member of the Soul Tribe. Absolutely. There you go. And these are the names of the holy angels who watch. Uriel, one of the holy angels, who is over the world and over Tartarus. Raphael, one of the holy angels, who is over the spirits of men. Raguel, one of the holy angels, who takes vengeance on the world of the luminaries. Michael, one of the holy angels, to wit, he that is set over the best part of mankind and over chaos. Sacriel, one of the holy angels, who is set over the spirits who sin in the spirits. Gabriel, one of the holy angels, who is over paradise and the serpents and the cherubim. Ramiel, one of the holy angels, whom God set over those who rise. Chapter 21. I proceed, this is Enoch, of course, and I proceeded to where things were chaotic. And I saw there's something horrible. I saw neither a heaven above nor a firmly mounted earth, but a place chaotic and horrible. And there I saw 7 stars of the heaven bound together in it, like great mountains and burning with fire. Then I saw, for what sin are they bound, and on that what account have they been cast in hither? Now remember, even if he's talking about something like hell, now he's talking about some real place. Then Uriel, one of the holy angels, who was with me and was chief over them, said, Enoch, why dost thou ask, and why art thou eager for the truth? Why are you eager for the truth? Why wouldn't you be? You see something strange? Wouldn't you want to know? That's what I'm saying. Then he says, these are the numbers of the stars in heaven which have transgressed and commanded of the Lord, and are bound till 10,000 years. The time entailed by their sins are consummated. Well, how many years has it been since Enoch has been there? Think they're about ready to get out of jail? I don't know. Hello, slightly slanted sleuth Steve. Thank you for coming. Oh, I know you, Steve. You like to hear this stuff. This is always good, though, too. And from hence I went to another place, which was still more horrible. He's getting a lot of horrible. Then the former, and I saw a horrible thing, a great fire which burnt and blazed, and the place was cleft as far as the abyss, being full of great descending columns of fire. Neither its extent or magnitude could I see, nor could I conjure. Then I said, how fearful is the place, and how terrible to look upon. Well, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Now, what could be so terrible? Then I saw how fearful is the place and how terrible to look upon. Then Uriel answered me, one of the holy angels who was with me, and said unto me, Enoch, why hast thou such fear and affright? And I answered, because this is fearful place, and because of the spectacle of the pain. And I said unto me, this place is the prison of the angels, and here will be imprisoned forever. And hence I went to another place, and he showed me in the west another great and high mountains and hard rock. And there was in it 4 hollow places, deep and wide and very smooth. How smooth are the hollow places, deep and dark to look at. Then Raphael answered, one of the holy angels who was with me, and said unto me, these hollow places have been created for this very purpose, that the spirits of the souls of the dead should assemble therein, that all the souls of the children of men should assemble here. So look at, he's telling you that all the souls of the children of men, they're going to go in these holes. And these places have been made to receive them till the day of their judgment, until their appointed period, till the period appointed, till the great judgment comes upon them. Well, that's something to look forward to. So much for going to heaven. I saw the spirit of the children of men who were dead, and their voice went forth to heaven and made suit. Then I asked Raphael, the angel, who was with me, and I said unto him, the spirit, who is it voice goeth forth and make it suit? And he answered me, saying, this is the spirit which went forth from Abel, whom his brother of Cain, whose brother Cain slew, and he makes his great suit against him, till his seed is destroyed from the face of the earth, and his seed is annihilated from amongst the seed of men. Well, see, and there we go. That's why I read you that passage. That's why my guides were telling me to read something out of Adam and Eve. Now let me read this again. This is the spirit which went forth from Abel. Abel died. Abel was supposed to be a good guy, whom his brother Cain slew. And he makes his suit against him till his seed is destroyed from the face of the earth, and his seed is annihilated from amongst the seeds of men. Then I asked regarding it, and regarding all the hollow places, why as one separated from the other? And he answered me and said to me, these 3 have been made that the spirits of the dead might be separated. And such a division has been made for spirits of the righteous, in which there is, or as the bringing of water, or spring water, and such has been made for sinners when they die and are buried in the earth, and judgment has not been executed on them in their lifetime. Here their spirits shall be set apart in the great pain till the great day of judgment and punishment, and the torment of those who curse forever, and retribution for their spirits. There he shall bind them forever. Why is it always forever? Forever, forever. That's the light of the abyss, is what Hess talking about. Okay, hang on. Steve, you know lots of stuff. The light, that's the light in the abyss. Is that what he is talking about? The light is eternal. Well, he's going into the hole. How can he? There is no light in there. We are if there is such a place. We are in, well, these holes are sounds like, I guess. Anyway. Hey, Elderberry. Hey, Michelle Can-Am Free. Okay. Either way, it doesn't sound good. I really don't like this outcome. From hence I went to sounds like we're being farmed. That's all I can say. See, you got to look at it I'm trying to look at it in a different perspective. They're saying if you do what the Lord says, and you don't question him, and you're mindless, and you just obey him and do whatever he says, he's going to think you're a good guy. And you're going to get into one hole. And you're still going to go in the hole. If you don't do what he says, you kind of screw up a little bit, going in the second hole. And if you do something really bad, you're going in the third hole. That's why there's 3 holes. Either way, you still go in the hole. From hence I went to another place to the west, to the ends of the earth. And I saw a burning fire which ran without resting, and paused not from its course day or night, but ran regularly. And I asked, saying, What is this which rests not? Then Rigel, only one of the holy angels who was with me, answered me and said unto me, This course of fire which thou hast seen is the fire in the west, which prosecutes all luminaries of heaven. Turn the page. I guess I got to turn. And from hence I went to another place of the earth, and he showed me a mountain range of fire, which burnt day and night. And when I went beyond it and saw 7 magnificent mountains, all differing each from the other, and the stones were magnificent and beautiful, magnificent as a whole, of glorious appearance and fair exterior. 3 toward the east, 1 founded on the other, and 3 towards the south, one upon another, and deep rough ravines, no one of which joined with any other. Sounds like a mountain of coal that was set on fire, like the Great Smoky Mountains. Once you set that coal on fire, it'll burn forever. And the 7th mountain was in the midst of these, and it was excelled them in height, resembling the seat of the throne, and fragrant trees encircled the throne. And amongst them was a tree such I had never seen or smelt, neither was any amongst them, nor others like it. It had a fragrance beyond all fragrances, and its leaves and blooms of the wood wither not forever, and its fruit is beautiful, and its fruit resembled the dates of a palm. Then I said, How beautiful is this tree, and fragrant, and its leaves are fair, and its blooms are delightful in appearance. Then answered Michael, one of the holy honored angels who was with me and was their leader. And he said unto me, Enoch, why dost thou ask me regarding the fragrance of the tree, and why dost thou wish to learn the truth? Then I answered to him, saying, I wish to know about everything, but especially about this tree. And he answered, saying, This is a high mountain, which thou hast seen, whose summit is like the throne of God. It is a throne where the Holy Great One, the Lord of glory, the eternal King, will sit when he shall come down to visit the earth with goodness. And as for this fragrant tree, no mortal is permitted to touch it till the great judgment, when he shall take vengeance on all and bring everything to its consummation forever. It shall then be given to the righteous and the holy. Its fruit shall be for food to the elect. It shall be transplanted to the holy place, to the temple of the Lord, the eternal King. And then they shall rejoice with joy and be glad, and unto the holy place shall they enter. And its fragrance shall be in their bones, and they shall live a long life on earth, such as thy fathers lived. And in their days shall no sorrow or plague, or torment of calamity touch them. Then blessed I the glory of God of glory, and the eternal King, who hath prepared such things for the righteous, and hath created them, and promised to give to them. Well, it sounds like there is. So he's telling them that we have a short life, that his predecessors had a long life. There was people before that had a long life. Well, I don't know about that. That's all I can say. I think, see, this is why I say Enoch was kind of naive. Then I said, and besides that, if a tree had fragrance, just like when you see a fragrant flower, you're attracted to it more than a flower that doesn't have any fragrance. Just like anything else, it looks pretty, you look at it faster. It smells pretty. If it has good fruit on it, you're going to be attracted to it faster. That's the whole point. It's common sense, people. Then I said, for what object is this blessed land, which is entirely filled with trees, and is accursed, and this accursed valley between? Then Uriel, one of the holy angels who was with me, there was like a whole group of these angels that was with him. They're making the tour, people. Answered and said, this accursed valley is for those who are cursed forever. It's always forever. Here shall all the accursed be gathered together, who utter with their lips against the Lord unseemly words, and of his glory speak hard things. Here shall they be gathered together, and they shall be their place of judgment. In the last days there shall be upon them a spectacle of righteous judgment in the presence of the righteous forever. Here we go with the forever again. Forever and ever. There's a song like that. Needless, you want to hear me sing. Presidents of the righteous forever. Here shall the merciful bless the Lord of glory, the eternal King. Hey, merry winds. In the days of judgment over the former, they shall bless him for the mercy accordance with which he has assigned them. Then I blessed the Lord of glory, and set forth his glory, and lauded him gloriously. It's glory, 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 glory. Well, can't they, see, this is, I don't get it. And hence, because you know what, they don't want to speak a foul word, because you know what, there's the fear of this guy, which we'll call the leader, of putting him in one of those holes. And they're fearful too, because he must be very powerful, because he's the general. And hence I went towards the east, into the midst of the mountain range of the desert, and I saw wilderness, and it was solitary, full of trees and plants. And water gushed forth from above, rushing like the copious water course towards the northwest. It caused clouds and dew to ascend on everything. And hence I went to another place in the desert, and approached to the east of the mountain range. And there I saw aromatic trees, exhaling the fragrance of frankincense and myrrh. And the trees also were similar to the almond tree. They're getting all over the world. I mean, they're taking the tour. And beyond these, afar to the east, I saw another place, a valley full of water. Yes, like a big lake. And therein there was a tree, the color of fragrant trees such as the mastic. And on the sides of those valleys I saw fragrant cinnamon. And beyond these I proceeded to the east. And cinnamon is found in the east. Like China, the Philippines, things like that. That's where cinnamon is found. And I saw other mountains, and amongst these were groves of trees, that there flowered forth from them nectar, which is named Sarah and Galbum. And I mispronounced those big time. Sorry, people. This tablet is having This tablet is having tablet tag 2. Huh. Okay, Isby. It's Branda. It's brand me. Okay. And I saw the mountains, and amongst them were groves. Oh, I read that. Okay, and the fragrant trees. And you'd think the Garden of Eden was the only place that had fragrant trees. And I went over the summits of these mountains far towards the east of the earth, and passed above the Aquarian Sea, and west far from it, and passed over the angel Zotel. And I came to the garden of the righteous, and saw beyond those trees many large trees growing there. Yeah, there's trees all over, buddy. Growing there in goodly fragrance, large, very beautiful and glorious. And the tree of wisdom there whereof they eat, and know great wisdom. That tree is in the height like a fir, and its leaves are like those of the cherubim tree, and its fruit is like the clusters of the vine. Very beautiful, and its fragrance of the tree penetrates afar. Then I said, how beautiful is the tree, and how attractive is it looks. Then Raphael, the holy angel, who was with me answered me and said, This is the tree of wisdom, of which thy father, old in years, and thy aged mother, who were before thee, have eaten. And they learned wisdom, and their eyes were open, and they knew that they were naked, and they were driven out of the garden. So, Enoch, you're not eating from the tree, are you? They're not going to let you eat from that tree. And from hence I went to the ends of the earth and saw there were great beasts, and each different from the other. And I saw birds whose differing in appearance and beauty and voice, of one differing from the other. And to the east those beasts I saw the ends of the earth whereupon the heavens rest, and the portholes of the heaven open. And I saw how the stars of heaven come forth, and I counted the portals out of which they proceed, and wrote down all their outlets of each individual star by itself. Was he taking notes? And then proceeded and wrote down the outlets of each individual star by itself, according to their numbers and their names, their course and their positions, and their times and their months, as Uriel, the holy angel who was with me, showed me. You know, this sounds like he was up there for weeks. This was quite the adventure. He showed all the things to me and wrote them down for me. So also their names he wrote for me, and their laws and their companies. So he's, you could say that he's in school. He's learning. So Enoch's not a stupid guy, I guess. I mean, he could read and write, obviously. He is taking notes. And from hence I went towards the north to the ends of the earth, and there I saw a great glorious device at the ends of the whole earth. A device, not natural. And here I saw 3 portholes of heaven open into the heavens, although each of them proceeded north winds, and they blow there is cold, hail, frost, snow, dew, and rain. Holes at the end of the earth. Is he talking the entrances to the hollow earth? And out of one portal they blew for good, but when they blow through the other 2 portals, it is with violence and affliction on the earth, and they blow with violence. And from hence I went towards the west to the ends of the earth, and saw 3 portals of the heavens open, such as I have seen in the east, the same number of portals and the same number of outlets. So the question is Earth really what we believe it to be? Is there portholes? What is a porthole? What is he talking about as a portal? Is he talking about a stargate? A device can be a symbol as well. I like that. That's right. A device can be a symbol as well. And from hence I went to the south to the ends of the earth, and saw 3 portholes of the heaven, and hence there come dew, rain, and wind. And from hence I went to the east to the ends of the heaven, and saw there 3 east portholes. So there's portholes on every side, north, east, west, and south. Through each of these small portholes pass the stars of heaven, and run their course to the west on the path which is shown to them. And as often as I saw, I blessed always the Lord of glory, and continued to bless the Lord of glory, who hath brought great and glorious wonders to show the greatness of his work to the angels and to the spirits and to men, that they might praise his work and all his creation, and they might see the work, his might, and praise the great work of his hands, and bless him forever. Again, with the forever. Parables, chapter 37. The second vision, which he saw, the vision of wisdom, which Enoch, the son of Jared, son of Mahal, and the son of Cain, the son of Enos, and the son of Seth, the son of Adam, saw. So they all saw. And this is the beginning of the words of wisdom. And I lifted up my voice to speak and say to those which dwelt on earth, Hear ye, men of old times, see ye that come after the words of Holy One, which I speak there before the Lord of spirits. I get to wondering, if we could time travel and go back into time, And we could go back in those days and ask them questions or tell them answers of what the future is going to be. Nobody would ever understand us because we just couldn't talk like them, no matter what language we were using, because they would probably have a dialect or the words we would speak would not quite resonate. Put it that way. Okay, till the present day. Okay, the first parable, chapter 38. The first parable. When the congregation of the righteous shall appear, and sinners shall be judged for their sins, and shall be driven from the face of the earth. When the righteous one shall appear before the eyes of the righteous, whose elect works hang upon the Lord of spirits, and light shall reappear to the righteous and the elect who dwell on the earth. Where then will be the dwelling of the sinners? See, again, don't do what he says, you are a sinner. He wants low-minded people. And where are the resting places of those who've denied the Lord of spirits? It has been good for them if they had not been born. So, that makes me wonder about a lot of stuff. When the secrets of the righteous shall be revealed, and the sinners judged, and the godless driven from the presence of the righteous and the elect, from that time whose that possesses the earth shall no longer be powerful and exalted, and they shall not be able to behold the face of the holy. For the Lord of spirits has caused his light to appear. Sounds like he's going to separate people, divide them. He's got a plan. On the face of the holy, righteous, and elect, then shall the kings and the mighty perish. More perishing, more killing and more perishing. And be given into the hands of the righteous and the holy, and therefore where none shall seek for themselves mercy from the Lord of spirits, and for their life is at an end. More death and destruction. See, if we could all be more like Michelle Can't Free, that's who we should be more like. Look at that. I love you all. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you much. And I shall come, this is chapter 39 anyway, I shall come to pass those days that the elect, the holy children, will descend upon from the heavens, or the high heaven, and their seed will become one of the children of men. And in those days Enoch received books of zeal and wrath, and books of disquiet and expulsion. And mercy shall not be accorded to them, saith the Lord of spirits. And in those days a whirlwind carried me off from the earth, and set me down at the end of heavens. He was in a portal. He was in a beam or something. He was beamed down again. There we go. He was beamed up, remember? A whirlwind before. And set me down at the end of the heavens. And there I saw another vision, dwelling places of the holy, and the resting places of the righteous. Here mine eyes saw their dwellings, and there with his righteous angels. So he's talking about a place, and their resting places with the holy, and their petition and the intercede and prayed for the children of men. I guess they just sent them back down on the earth. And righteous flowed before them as water, and the mercy like a dew upon the earth, and it is amongst them forever and ever. And in that place mine eyes saw the elect, one of the righteous and of the faith. And I saw his dwelling place under the wings of the Lord of spirits, and righteous shall prevail in his days. Little pop-up ads. Look at that. Anyway, and the righteous shall be without number before him forever and ever, and again forever and ever. Why is it forever and ever? Eternity. It's always eternity. Beam me up, Scotty. Yes. I wonder how Enoch would have done a tablet. That's a good one, isn't he? Anyhow, okay. And the righteous and the elect before him shall be strong and fiery lights, and their mouth shall be full of blessing, and their lips exalt the name of the Lord of spirits. And the righteous before him shall never fail. And the righteous shall never fail before him. There I wish to dwell, and my spirit longed for the dwelling place, and there heretofore hath been my portion. I read this before, but it's always hard to read. Sorry, people. In those days I praised and extol the name of the Lord of spirits with blessing and praises, because he hath designed me for blessing and glory, according to the good pleasure of the Lord of spirits. For a long time my eyes regarded that place. I blessed him and praised him, saying, Blessed is he, and he may be blessed from the beginning and forevermore. Why does the Lord care if you bless him or not? Because he wants to know that you're on his side and you're his peon. That's all I can say. Because if you don't, then you're either with us, or you're with him, or you're against him. So either you're on his side or you're the enemy. He's going to get rid of the enemy. Trust me. He said. That's what he's saying. I mean, talk about bad. You don't have free will if that's the case. Well, you do, but you only get two choices, put it that way. And for him, there is no ceasing. He knows before the world was created what is forever and what will be from generation until generation. Those who sleep not bless thee. They stand before the glory and bless, praise, and exalt till saying, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of spirits. He filleth the earth with spirits. Wow. The more I read it, the more I think, it just sickens me. Why would you have to keep saying it? I don't care. Either this guy is just getting so filled, he needs your praises in order to keep going. That's what it is. It's like, you don't praise me, I just don't have the energy. But if you do praise me, I'm sucking it up. And here my eyes saw all those who sleep not. They stand before him and bless and say, Blessed be thou, and blessed be the name of the Lord forever and ever. So what is his name? And my face was changed, for I could no longer behold. Yeah, it would have made me sick too. And after that, I saw thousands and thousands and tens of thousand times 10,000. I saw a multitude beyond number and reckoning, who stood before the Lord of spirits. 10,000 times 10,000. I guess that's the way they could describe how many. And more than the eye could count. And on all four sides of the Lord of spirits, I saw four presences, different from those that sleep not. And I learnt their names, for the angel that went with me known to me their names, and showed me all hidden things. Okay, so the angels know the names of all the other angels, but they just don't seem to know the name of the Lord, even though they praise the name of the Lord. So what is his name? Can anybody tell me why don't they ever mention his name? They always seem to praise his name, praise the Lord, praise the name, but they don't seem to know who he is. It's like the big mystery. And the second voice I heard, blessing the elect one, and the elect ones who hang upon the Lord of spirits. And the third voice I heard, pray and intercede for those who dwell on earth, and supplicate in the name of the Lord of spirits. Well, his name is definitely not Lord of spirits. That's a title. I can't really imagine any less or more than that. Because I'm common sense here. I'm using common sense, and common sense says that you got to have a name. You can't just be named Lord of Spirits. That's a title. What's his name? And I heard the fourth voice, fending off the Satans. Fending off the Satans. That means his adversaries. And forbidding them to come before the Lord. Spirits to accuse them who dwell on the earth. After that, I asked the angel of peace who went with me. He's always got an angel with him. Like, they don't allow him to just roam around the ship, roam around everywhere unattended. He's not that bright. Who showed me everything that is hidden? Well, according to you, Enoch, everything is hidden to you. Literally everything, until they show it to you. And they really don't care. They're wanting you to learn about this stuff because you're not that bright. That's what I would be saying. Who are these four presences which I have seen, and whose words I have heard and written down? And he said to me, this first is Michael, the merciful and long suffering, and the second, who is set over all the diseases and all the wounds of the children of men, is Raphael. And the third, who is set over the powers, is Gabriel. And the fourth, who is set over the reprenants, unto whom of those who inherit eternal life is named Famuel. Famuel. Yeah, Famuel. And these are the four angels of the Lord of spirits, and the four voices I heard in those days. So there are people that get eternal life. Who are these eternal life people? He's talking about there's eternal life people. Okay. The elect, they're always elect. There's the elect. What's an elect? And the mansions of the holy, and the mine eyes saw there is all the sinners being driven from the hence, which deny the name of the Lord of spirits, and begin dragging off, and they could not abide because of the punishment which proceeds from the Lord of spirits. Sounds like a group of bad guys. And there mine eyes saw the secrets of the light, and the thunder, and the secrets of the winds, and how they divided and blow over the earth. Here he goes back to the earth again. And the secrets of the clouds and the dew, and there I saw from whence they proceeded, in the place from which they saturate the dusty earth. And there I saw closed chambers, out of which the winds are divided, and the chambers of the hail, and the winds, and the chambers of the mist, and of the clouds, and the clouds thereon hovers over the earth from beginning of the world. And I saw the chambers of the sun and the moon, and whence they proceeded, whither they come again, and their glorious return, and how one is superior to the other, and they stately orbit, and how they do not leave their orbit, and they add nothing to their orbit, and they take nothing away from it, and they keep faith with each other in accordance with the oath of which they are bound together. So now he's in space, and he's seeing how the planets orbit, how they orbit in this exact order. Okay. Well, Isby, thank you for coming. I really appreciate you coming, man. And the first sun goes forth and travels its path according the first. Did you get that? The first sun. Is there two suns at this point? The first sun goes forth and traverses its path according to the commandment of the Lord of spirits, and his mighty is his name forever and ever. Again, with the forever and ever. And after that, I saw the hidden and visible path of the moon, and she accomplishes. You notice he said the moon. The moon is feminine, people. The moon is feminine. And after that, I saw the hidden, visible path of the moon, and she accomplishes the course of her path in that place by day and by night, the one holding a position opposite to the other before the Lord of spirits. And they give thanks and praise and rest not, for unto them is their thanksgiving rest. For the sun changes oft for a blessing or a cure or curse. For the sun changes oft for a blessing or a curse. That's bad and good. The yin and the yang. And the course of the path of the moon is light to the righteous. Well, we all see the light of the moon. Is somebody go out there and say, oh, I don't see the moon when everybody else does? Is it light just for one group of people? Or is it for all of us? Or is he really just fooling Enoch? The course of the path of the moon is light to the righteous, and the darkness is to the sinners in the name of the Lord. So when the moon is dark, it's sinners' night out. Who made a separation between the light and the darkness, and divided the spirits of men, and strengthened the spirits of the righteous in the name of his righteousness. For no angel hinders, and no power is able to hinder. For he appoints a judge for them all, and he judges them all before him. Well, who is he to judge anybody? That's all I can say. Wisdom found, chapter 42. Wisdom found no place where she might dwell. Then a dwelling place was assigned her in the heavens. Wisdom went forth to make her dwelling amongst the children of men. Now, this part I find really interesting. And found no dwelling place. Wisdom returned to her place and took her seat among the angels. The unrighteous went forth from her chambers, whom she sought, now not she found, and dwelt with them, a rain in a desert, and dew on a thirsty land. So that's meaning that somebody came with wisdom and nobody wanted it. Nobody could understand it. You're talking, see, this is where I'm saying is you're giving somebody something, and if they can't quite grasp it, I'm sure you've all met people like that and said, hey, all the banks are closing, and they looked at you and said, did the Packers win the football game? Are you going to watch the football game? Who's playing basketball? Did you watch the Kardashians? But there's important things going on in the world. Did you know? Did you hear? This could affect you. Well, the Kardashians had this show on, and it was pretty good. Dude, wake up. There's a lot more to the world than, something like that. Wake up and smell the roses. Chapter 42, Wisdom found no place. Oh, I did that one. Chapter 43, I saw other lights, and how the stars of heaven, and I saw how he called them all by their names, and they hearkened until him. And I saw how they are weighed in the righteous balance according to their proportions of light. I saw the width of their spaces and the day of their appearing, and how their revolution produces light. This took probably days, because astrology, space, and science. Why are they teaching Enoch space and science? Makes no sense at all. None. I saw the width of their spaces and the day of their appearing, and how their revolution produces light. And I saw their revolution according to the number of the angels, and how they kept faith with each other, how they gave pace. Okay. And I asked the angel who went with me, who showed me what was hidden. What are these? And he said unto me, the Lord of spirits has showed thee their parabolic meaning, their parable, and are the names of the holy who dwell on earth, and believe in the name of the Lord of spirits forever and ever. And again with the ever and ever, forever. And I think, I think we got time for one more chapter. Chapter 44. Oh, maybe two more chapters. Chapter 44. Another phenomenon I saw in regarding to the lightnings, how some of the stars arise and become lightnings, and cannot part with their new form. It sounds like comets or meteors or asteroids flowing through the sky. They're light, they got the big long tail, doesn't it? Chapter 45, the second parable. And this is the second parable, concerning those who deny the name of the dwelling of the holy ones and the Lord of the spirits. And into the heaven they shall not ascend, and on the earth they shall not come. Such shall be the lot of the sinners, who have denied the names of the Lord of spirits, who are thus preserved for the day of suffering and tribulation. And on that day, mine elect, one shall sit on the throne of glory, and shall their works, and their places of rest shall be innumerable, and their souls shall grow strong within them when they see mine, the elect ones, and those who have called upon my glorious name. Then will I cause mine elect one to dwell among them. Well, that's not going to really happen anytime soon. And those who have called upon my name, they will cause mine elect to dwell among them. And I will transform the heaven and make it eternal blessing and light. And I will transform the earth, make it blessing. and I will cause mine elect ones to dwell upon it. But the sinners and evildoers shall not set forth thereon. So he means that anybody who isn't praising him, you're not praising him and doing what he says, you're a sinner. And for I have provided the satisfying with peace my righteous ones, and have caused them to dwell before me. And but for the sinners there is judgment impending with me, so that I shall destroy them from the face of the earth. It's always destroy, 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 kill, destroy. And I think we're going to end right there. Mark that in my book. Okay. What did we learn? Forever and forever. When they say forever, they're meaning forever. Okay. So here we go. So tonight we learned that Enoch again is getting showed. He's on the spaceship. He's getting showed the four corners of the earth, the portals where the wind and the rain and everything come down, which makes me wonder, what the heck was he seeing? Then he goes back and he's taking notes. He's writing it down in a book. He's basically in school, and he's getting taught by these angels, the workers on the ship, the crystal ship that he's in. Then he gets to go down to the earth in a big whirlwind. Then he goes back up, and he's been on the ship again. He's on the ship. Well, happy St. Patrick's Day to you, merry winds. What is St. Patrick's Day? Let's go through that. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. But is it a happy day? I beg to differ. What is St. Patrick's Day? It's the day that St. Patrick, who was a warrior, he wasn't this good guy, went to dwell out the snakes. He was a Catholic Christian guy doing the will of the Pope or whatever. And well, actually he was. And he was doing the will of the Romans. And he got sent over to England, to Ireland, actually, to drive out the snakes. Now, needless to say that there is no snakes over there, first off. Now, he didn't go around and stomp out the snakes. That would be impossible. He didn't go around with a little stick and try to catch them all and chop their heads off. And he didn't go there by himself. He went there with a big army. And it's kind of a sad day, because he went there to get rid of the snakes, which were the Druids. The Druids were the snakes. They were the people with the knowledge. They were the people who were in communion with the earth. They were paganists. They had powers because they had the secret knowledge. And the secret knowledge that the Catholic Church didn't want out there, because because the church didn't give you knowledge. They wanted you dumb. According to this book we're reading, the Lord wants people naive and stupid. They want you to praise the Lord, praise his name, give glory to him and nothing else. And if you don't, he'll strike you down, kill you. He is going to put you in a pit and make your life miserable for eternity, forever and ever. And even if you do praise him, you still get to go in the pit, but not the really bad pit. What a choice. So you really don't fare humans very well. He wants praise and your power. He wants your power. He don't want you to have wisdom. You notice they didn't stop by and say, we're going to stop by the tree of wisdom, let you have a bite of the fruit, and then you'll be smart right off the bat. Nope, they didn't give him that. They didn't teach him how to do anything. They're just teaching him about the stars and about all these things. Now, and he's keeping notes. He's learning about the winds and things. He's up in the spaceship. He's being guarded by the angels, because there's an angel with him every time, or somebody to watch him, like he's a puppy dog. So much for that. Anyway, hope you guys join me tomorrow night, where it'll be Saturday night live, and we'll have Wayne Steiger on, Nina the Mystic. and Musgrave Griffin on for part 1 of the religious roundtable discussion. Hope you all can join me there and make it a great night. It's going to be a lot of fun. Join me tomorrow night. It will be interesting. Trust me. So with that, we're going to sign off. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Elderberry, Isby. Hope you are feeling better. Mary wins. Max Vision. I'm sure you got a class on coming up soon. So go over there and check Max out. He's an awesome guy. He'll be on our religious roundtable on Sunday. We're going to divide it up into 2 spots because it was quite the long watch. Anyway, great show to be had. See you tomorrow night. Thanks, everybody, for coming. Do something nice for your neighbor. That's what I say. Do something nice for your neighbor, and it'll be a great day. Remember, be the frequency you want to receive. That's you. Be that frequency. Love you all, everyone. Peace, everybody.